Planting some more corn. May 2nd. Got a conventional field back there in the background, if you can see. The sprayer's rolling over there again. Spraying it again. And we're planting green over here. It'll get sprayed after we plant, or a week, well, maybe a week or so after. Cows are in here grazing. They're in the barn right now for shade, but they'll come back out here in the evening. Get some more consumption off this field. Really should have a lot more cows out here. They haven't really done any damage to it. Pretty dry here in Virginia past couple weeks to month. It's been a pretty dry spring, but there's very little dust blowing up back there, holding our ground. You know, if this was bare ground, no cover crop, the dust would be rolling. We might not be able to plant because all the moisture would be gone and too dry to plant. Can't get in the ground. But with this cover crop, holds the moisture. Not much dust rolling back there. So that's a conventional field over there, no cover crop. And this is the second time he's sprayed. Usually one time before you plant is enough, but I don't know. And then you got our field, which is all green except for a skipper right there. That ground over there is gonna burn up real quick with this warmer weather. Wait, buddy, you're on camera. But yep, it's a no-brainer. Hold your ground through the winter. Hold your moisture so your ground don't cook when it starts getting warmer. And if you can get cattle to your crop fields, get some grazing days off of them, put down some cow manure. Don't have the boss man in here today yet. He's in the pool right now. This used to be an old dairy farm. Had some harvester silos we took down, sold. Had a big manure pit, took that down. Had some bunker walls, sold them, cleaned up a bunch of stuff, sold a bunch of stuff. Now we just use the barns for hay storage, and cows have access to it for shade. Put up a bin there to store some beans and corn. This was in corn last year. Doing corn on corn again. Don't usually do it, but we're getting fields switched around. Got some new ground this year. It's about 5-10 miles north of us, a couple hundred acres. It's got a pivot on it. Purchased it, so that'll be fun. Some new ground to work with. Once the corn's off this fall, we'll graze the stalks and plant the cover crop before we put the cows in, and then graze the stalks and let that cover crop come up through, and probably go into full season soybeans next year. Like to rotate our crops. That way you don't have issues with disease and bugs and stuff. We don't use fungicides. Don't see the need to. But then after full season soybeans are harvested, usually go back in with wheat for cash crop, and then that will be the cover crop in the winter, but it will be harvested the next summer, and then double crop soybeans will be planted after that. And then it'll go in a cover crop and then back to corn. That's our crop rotation for now. Like to get more into planting vetch before corn for cover crop to put down some nitrogen in the ground. We'll probably get into that in the next couple years. Vetch and maybe clover or something else that fixes nitrogen. Maybe throw some rye in with it. Wheat works good. It's good grazing. But all that other stuff would be good grazing too. Anything green is better than nothing. And when you got bare ground out here with nothing growing in it, it does not take many hot days to dry you out. And then you can't even plant because you don't have the moisture to germinate that seed. If you can even get it in the ground with your planter. the stalks that are left, because the cows were in here last fall, winter, grazing stalks. Planting through those, planting through the cover crop. Got the down pressure up pretty high. Got to keep that planter in the ground. Running the road cleaners to swipe some of the stalks away. Case planter does a pretty good job. It's got pneumatic airbags for downforce. Works good. I think the new one's got hydraulic. I don't know if they're standard or an option, but that hydraulic downforce is pretty nice too. Planting 32,000 seeds an acre. But yep, we're back in our fields now. We got cover crops. Not making near the amount of dust. I guarantee you, if he'd be planting out there today, he'd be letting it roll. Topsoil blown over to the neighbors. It might not look like much, but it adds up. Laugh all you want. But when your tractor's covered in dust, it amounts to something. But yeah, we're gonna keep on rolling and finish this field up and head to another one. Got a little bit of corn left to do, and then we'll switch over to beans and knock that out. Keep them wheels a rolling.